few moments ago, Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The Palace has just issued this statement that says the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow.
So last Thursday, the Queen died. Some of us have blamed the Queen for so-called atrocities that were committed by the British Empire in Africa and other colonies during British imperial rule. One lady, Uju Anya, professor of applied linguistics in University in America, was actually very notorious because she told the Queen in a tweet that she wishes that the Queen dies an excruciating and painful death. She claimed that the Queen was responsible for displacing her family all over the world, and I believe she meant her family in Nigeria and from Trinidad, because her father happens to be Nigerian and her mother is from Trinidad. Well, for somebody who is a professor of languages to think that a 25-year-old woman who became queen in 1957 or a 96-year-old woman who just died could have any power over her family is simply laughable or ludicrous. I mean, the person of the Queen has no power. In fact, the power rests with the Prime Minister of England and the House of Commons. So if you rain vitriol or curses on a woman who herself is a captive of the imperial system, it's just laughable, and honestly indicates that you don't even understand how the British Empire works. Now, if Africans continue to be fooled by the symbols and the rituals of the royal family, then we haven't learned anything from our past. Because I think that one thing the British do well is that they know how to deceive with their symbols and traditions. We know that the royal family does not actually rule any kingdom, yet they call themselves the United Kingdom. Their country is not great anymore, yet they refer to themselves as the Great Britain. So I don't know, like, people should wise up and stop giving any credence to any of these British rituals and symbols. Most of the former British colonies have been freed over the last 50 or 100 years, and therefore I don't see any reason why we should blame the Queen or the royal family for any of our problems. In fact, the more we continue to blame them, the more we continue to express that we believe an empire still exists. Because as long as you hate somebody, they still have a hold over you. If we want to be free of British colonial rule, we have to be free of that hate that we think that we want to assign to somebody, whether it's the Queen or the King of England. I think it's time Africans began to face their own problems and stop blaming people for their problems. Thank you, and God bless.